Hi, welcome to the C6 Blanket Track. Just a few quick reminders. We're selling programs out in the hall with all kinds of information about the track. They're only $3, and in fact, there's a really nice checklist of all the start tops we'll be giving away. Everyone who has a seat will get a start top, but you have to have a seat in here to get a start top. If you have to leave the room for any reason, please see one of our crew members in back, and they will give you a bathroom pass. And then you can come back in. If you don't have that pass, we can let you back in. We're also selling display bins for all the start tops. It's a great way to keep them safe and display them in a really cool way. They're on the hall. While you're out there, you can get our social room right across the hall. That's a great place to meet other collectors, to trade the start tops, to trade the patches, and meet some of the fan sites. We're going to be doing that all day. This particular presentation is somewhat unique, where instead of just one topic, we're going to have really, really interesting topics going on. Before something comes. You do it.
Hi, I'm Jeff Kahan, and I'll be talking about the Cypher collectible card game. Is anybody out there actually playing this game? Has anybody actually just bought the cards to collect? We've done it both ways. You'll notice from the examples here, 1995, Cypher came out with a customizable card game right on the heels of Magic the Gathering, came out in '93, and then the Cypher came out with a Star Trek customizable card game in '94 that was a huge success. They decided, hey, Star Wars. They worked with Lucas to get a license and access to all of the film footage from the movies. You'll notice as we go through the slideshow, a couple cards that I'll show actually are images from the movies. All different scenes are represented, and as far as I know, no one has actually set them in order to find like a film sequence. But maybe that's a project someone bold enough to try sometime. The original premiere set had 325 cards to it, all different scenes, characters, events, various things. Each card has a nice little piece of lore. A lot of the aliens that we've become familiar with in the Cantina, your Hans Babas, your Dr. Evisons, your Kaves, a lot of those were all fleshed out by Cypher in this game. So if you were character specific collectors, there's a lot of variety that you can go through, and there are various iterations of all the major characters for sure within all of the sets. After the first set came out, based on A New Hope entirely, the second came out with 11 more full sets of cards. Two more from A New Hope. 3 sets that represented Empire Strikes Back, and 3 sets that represented Return of the Jedi. At the very end, they came out with 3 sets in 1 year representing the Phantom Menace. It's kind of the last-ditch effort before the license was given over to Wizards of the Coast. Let's move on. You can see we got some very nice cards here. These are examples of some foil cards that they came out with. They came out with 3 different sets of foils called Reflections. The first one was basically foil cards of cards that have come previously. The second and third Reflections were all introduced some new cards as well as the foils. The basic pack that you got basically had 1 rare card, a bunch of uncommon cards, and a bunch of common cards. Generally 9 or 15 cards per pack, depending upon which set was out at the time. The Endor set that you see on your left up here is a special set of foils that came within the Endor set. They were hard to find. It was one per box for the foils, but that was a long time ago. And you can see that there's a new version on up there. They fleshed out all of the walkers. And let's move on. Okay, these are the box sets. Decipher came up with a number of ingenious ways to get rid of their surplus cards. Down at the bottom, you'll see these seal decks, official tournament seal decks, and then that had 6 boxes, and Jabba's Palace seal deck, which had another 6 boxes, all of different characters that you could also collect the boxes and store your cards in. Very handy for bringing 2 decks to your tournaments. Up on the top left there, you'll see the anthologies. There's a first anthology, a second anthology, and a third anthology. Basically contained packs of cards along with a couple of new cards in each one. On the right, you see an example of the enhanced packs. There was an enhanced Premier, an enhanced City, and an enhanced Jabba's Palace. They each had 4 packs of each of those sets, along with a premium card that you could see through the window. Generally, the premium cards were enhanced versions of characters. Characters would come with their own sabers or guns, weapons. Moving on. Decipher also released a number of international sets. The most prevalent was the Japanese sets, so you can collect. It's the first 4 sets, A New Hope, the Premier, A New Hope, Hoth, and Dagobah were available in Japanese. Here's a couple examples of the Japanese cards that are just fun to collect, and you could toss them into your decks when you went to tournaments and wow your opponent with them, as long as you had an English version for translation purposes. Moving on. All right. Decipher wanted to put up a number of cards for characters and scenes that were not in the movies. What they did was they ended up making their own backgrounds and hiring some actors and models and authors to take over some of these characters. Mara Jade is played by actress Shannon McRandall. And down the bottom we'll see Corran Horn and Talon Hart, Michael Stackpole, and Timothy Zahn were both the models for those cards. So it's really cool. You can take the cards up. See, I got my autograph by Corran Horn. And you've got a couple of people from Shadows of the Empire, Prince TeeDorr, Yuri, and Merrick's. Grand Admiral Thrawn made an appearance as a character. Displaying your cards. Like the trading cards, the easiest way to display them is just in the usual binders, however you like, usually by set name, the card number. A number of, I've seen a couple of displays where people have taken out their favorite cards and just pasted them and then just hung them up on the wall as a sort of a mat hanging. These are a couple of posters that were given out in boxes of cards. They're just fold-out thin posters, and they're actually quite cool. And so those can be hard to find these days. Moving on, we got another set of posters. These were in cases, if you bought a case, and also you could Decipher would give them out at various tournament events, at Origins, at they actually had their own DecipherCon, like Gen Con had some of the major tournaments. You can get these as well. Another collecting aspect of the cards is, of course, autographs. You got your favorite characters. You can take your card up to the autograph hall and get them signed. Might be a little late for this convention, but I know there are a lot of dealers out there who are selling cards, so you can always pick up your cards and go to official picks and get them signed. They were really cool. I remember playing in tournaments where you flip over a card, you play a card down, and your opponent would be, wow, you have that signed. It's always fun. Moving on, uncut sheets. There were a number of uncut sheets that were given out as tournament prizes for major convention tournaments. Uncut sheets for, here we have the Endor foils that I mentioned earlier on an uncut sheet, along with the Death Star 2, which is one of the Tournament Jedi releases that they put out on these uncut sheets. And they came in an uncut sheet of rares, an uncut sheet of uncommons, uncut sheets of commons. And there's just a lot of them out there floating around on eBay. They look really cool on the oversized cards. Remember, promotional oversized cards that the site released about yay big, except for Princess Leia, which is slightly smaller than the other oversized cards. One of my favorites is the trio with Mara Jade, Talon Card, and Corn Horn, which I was fortunate enough at one point to get all of the participants to sign that card. T-shirts, tournament T-shirts. Decided to give out these really cool T-shirts, one of which I'm wearing as well. And as tournament winners, sometimes the tournament director would also get a shirt. There were 15 or 20 different images that they put on the shirts that you could get. You can still find a couple of them out on eBay if you're interested in getting a shirt of your favorite character. So in summary, we've got over 3,000 different cards within the set to collect. Then you've got your foils. You've got the different sealed deck boxes with their own cards that came in there. You've got the tournament shirts, uncut sheets, autographs, and the various promo cards that were given out at various events. So there's a lot to collect out there in terms of getting a full set. I know my set is not in a full set order right now. I've got a lot of holes in my binders that one of these days I will wade through all of my cards and break down all of my decks and hopefully put a full set together. The game still lives on through the Star Wars Players Committee. If you go to swccgpc.com. They still host tournaments in cities around the country and the world. If folks still have their cards from the past and still are interested in playing the game, it's one of the most favorite games of mine that has ever come out. That's about it. Thank you very much.
What is a gift card? Well, actually, it is not a holiday card from Hallmark. So if you're interested in Hallmark cards, I will not be offended if you leave. But you will not get a star card. What is a gift card? I'm talking about I'm not going to read all these scientific words, but it's a little plastic cards you get at a store, they put money on it, you come back later and use it, you can give it away as a gift. One of the things I like about Star Wars gift cards is that they represent almost the entire history of gift cards. For example, early in the late 1990s, they were highly engineered and very specialized. At the top left, the cards had all the numbers were embossed, and even they printed little gold ink on the numbers, just like a real credit card. In the early 2000s, they were very widespread. And in the center, bottom, For example, stores would create gift cards for all kinds of events, like the release of video games. And in the late 2000s up and now, they're very collectible, very stylized. The bottom left shows a nice Empire Strikes Back image, very artistic, trying to appeal to collectors, I suppose. Star Wars gift cards are the perfect collectible. Perfect collectible. They're cheap. They're even free. If you go to the store, put money on it, use the money to buy something, which you're going to buy anyway, and then you get to keep the card. It's awesome. And even on eBay, if you look around, it's very rare to have to pay more than $5 for any gift card. The gift cards are good for the impatient collector. You can put together a respectable collection in just a few months. They're extremely finite. There are only 82 different gift cards that have been issued in the United States by 21 different retailers. So they're extremely finite, but they pass the Stewart test, which says, I don't bother collecting anything unless there are more than 25 of them. Otherwise, what's the point? Gift cards have a physically small size. When's the last time somebody said to you, is that your Star Wars collection in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Yeah, the size out of
I have 82 gift cards. They all fit in my pocket. Of course, in reality, I keep my gift cards in a nice 3-ring binder. They fit perfectly in the standard trading card pages. And not only are they small, but they're very consistent. You don't have to go find more star cases when Hasbro changes their card back size and all that stuff. Just like many other avenues of collecting, there are many ways to branch out. Once you've completed the 82 set, or you just feel like you need to do more. Of course, there are gift cards from foreign countries. So the bottom left shows a new gift card from Canada that was only available at a science museum a few months ago. There's a lot of point of sale materials like posters, special. When the gift cards in the store, they're sometimes on a special packer card or hangs on the hook. A lot of those have nice designs on them. They're very collectible also. The bottom right is a shelf or a counter display from Burger King. And there's also pre-production artifacts. For example, at the top right, it's hard to see, but it's like a printer chunk. There's 2 cards and 1 little sheet. And I didn't show the back, but the back of it does not have the barcode or the magnetic stripe on it. So it's some kind of production sample. And if you really get into it, you can branch way out. For example, the top left is a special store reservation card. It operates just like a gift card. You can punch it out, use it, take it back, and put more cash on it if you want. That's a natural branch from regular gift cards. Telephone cards. They're also, most of them are plastic cards, just like the same size as gift cards. There are thousands and thousands of telephone cards from all over the world. So that's a serious commitment right there. And once you start looking at plastic cards, you can get into things like actual credit cards. I have a MasterCard with Yoda on it up there. There's little online game credit cards, and driver's license. I got Yoda from Florida right there. There's those nice hotel room keys from Celebration 3 in Indianapolis. And you know, by that time you're just saying, oh, I collect all plastic cards, anything with Star Wars. So I hope you have become interested in Star Wars gift cards. They are a perfect collectible. And I hope you stop and talk to us at the question and answer across the hall. I have a lot of free gift cards to give away if you're interested in starting a collection. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Aaron Slagle, and hope you forgive me losing my voice. I spent way too many late after party Star Wars. I got a little too animated, perhaps. So we'll just go ahead and get done with it. What qualifies as an oddball item? I collect all kinds of Star Wars items. I pretty much collect it all, but the oddball stuff, the really unusual, weird stuff, always seems to be what a visitor would come and point out right away, like, oh, what's that weird thing over there? It's a great way to break the ice rather than something to be totally overwhelmed by walls and walls of action. It's always some neat little thing. What qualifies as an oddball item? Usually if there's like some unusual or ironic use of a Star Wars character. Maybe they put them in some type of product that really doesn't exactly fit that particular character. Maybe it's a unique item, like kind of its own category. Like they made this and they didn't really make anything else related. There's also, unfortunately, some really, really poor and bad design that maybe never ever should have been made. Or you could just have something that's just kind of plain weird and goofy, you know, whatever piques your interest. So we'll start with vintage oddball. In 1983, Omni Cosmetics made a whole slew of bubble bath toiletry products. They were awesome. I love them all. But some of my favorites are the Gamorrean darts. As of course we all know, Gamorreans are renowned throughout the galaxy for their impeccable hygiene. The Darth Vader soap, it's pitch black soap. How do you get clean with black soap? You can't get clean with black soap. That one's one of the all-time best. And on the back of every one of these packages, there was a little story about like the character's good at fighting out grime and dirt and whatnot. At the end of the Princess Leia one, lather up with Leia, and you'll feel just like a princess yourself. And boy, did I. The X-Bases game. This is actually kind of like a repackaged, re-echoed game, but that inner one is called the Aerial Aces. It's a noisy game prone to breakage, but it's really pretty cool because you have your own shooting gallery at home. It kind of stands out on its own. There hasn't been anything like it. But you can see it has like there's a little machine gun on the top there. They didn't bother to remodel Star Wars machine gun. It's pretty tough to find, easy to break. Cool item. Sun catchers. I'm sure many of you have seen these. The Lee Ward's one there on the left. All of the Lee Ward's are tough to find. But what I find interesting about these two Vader ones, it seems like Vader always gets the shaft when it comes to some of the more unusual things. You really have just black crystals that you're going to put in this thing and bake it. And how that's supposed to catch sun rays, I don't know. I'm not a physicist. Maybe it does. I'm not certain. At least the one on the right, the fundamentals one, you get to make it as belt red, so at least a little bit of sunlight you can get through that whole thing. And there's a little suction cup so you can stick them on the window too. This photo is so awesome. Yeah, McCullough's made a few different pattern sets. This one is my favorite, released in '81. The masks are something you have to buy an Embroider mask or something else to add to it. But I like how short Chewbacca is. And like Vader looks like maybe he's like 3 grades higher than the rest of these kids. He's like got this piece of PVC pipe, he's gonna walk over their head and steal their Halloween candy. It's a great item. You can find this, it's not very easy. It's a great photo. The Chewbacca bandolier strap is an example of really just a poor design. In 1983, I was a little too old maybe to keep buying Star Wars stuff, but I did know a kid that had one of these things, and he'd cram his figures in the little styrofoam holders, little foam holders, put all their guns and weapons and whatnot in the little plastic cases. But then we would run around and play guns or whatever, and invariably, like the little plastic cases fall on your guns get scattered all over the place. You lose everything. It was like a cheaper way for Kenner to say, okay, instead of the Vader case or the vinyl case, you can put this crappy thing. And I love the picture of the kid. If anyone, at least in my town, walked into school with that thing, they were going to get a serious beat down. That's all. He thinks it's like so cool. That picture is great. That's really, that makes the whole item. The switcheroos, the light switch covers. I remember when these things came out, like I wanted to get all the toys forever. I wanted everything you could get. And I passed up on these things. I just thought, it would just be the dumbest thing ever to put these. What you did is you essentially attached them to your regular light switch in your bedroom. So I guess if you had all the sheets and everything, that would kind of match. And then you flip like R2's got a little switch on his belly, I guess. And Vader's got one on his mouth, and 3PO's got one on his mouth. And you switch them on, and then like their eyes would change the color. So I guess if the light was on or not. In the dark, they would glow. These are actually pretty tough to find, and so now I'm kind of kicking myself that I'm way back when and keep them in the box. Box bags. Okay, these things are great. In 77, Kenner made 4 different ones. Vader, bad guy, of course. Jawa, okay, bad guy. But then we got R2 and Chewie. They're the heroes. What have they ever done against anybody wrong? And look at these kids. I'm like, who would have left hook on that kid with the Chewbacca one? I mean, he's giving him what for? What did he do wrong? Nothing. He just have fun beating the daylights out of the heroes, I guess. I'm not sure. But I absolutely love these. These are tough to find in a box, but the graphics on the box itself is amazing. And then, of course, the one on the far right is a newer one. It's not vintage, it's a Clone Wars one. But I just wanted to show you, like, how far, in 35 years, how far advanced pop bag technology has moved on. Now they squirt water. I guess if you punch the thing, water sheets. Who knows? Maybe it just sprinkles all the time. But it's kind of sad. After all that time, you think they do something else, make sound or whatever. But actually, after the vintage ones, all the other characters ended up being like there's a dark mall, and they were all villains. Racing sets. This is one of my all-time favorite items. When I first saw it in the magazine many years ago, I just had to track this thing down. It really doesn't fit with any other type of item. In fact, it was unique until this one, when Scale Electric released their kits, and I already had this made. So anyhow, it's not exactly unique anymore, but again, it has nothing to do with Star Wars per se. You race around somebody's Vader's time and somebody's Luke's X-Wing. This set itself has fantastic graphics on the inside. Around the curves, the artwork is all great. But it was kind of cheap, just a cool set to collect, and it definitely kind of stands out on its own. Well, that's a weird thing. I don't remember any racing in Star Wars, but it's still cool. For whatever reason, George Lucas just was not keen on like slapping a Star Wars sticker on a previously made item that had something to do with something else. If you were a child of the 70s, you had a Citizen, or maybe a buddy had a Citizen. You knew somebody that had one. And the object, of course, is you sit on a thing and you spin yourself around until you're sick. That's really all it does. And we would literally until we're ready to bomb. It was crazy. But by the time Wicked came out, then I guess he relented and said, yeah, you can slap some stickers on this differently colored sit and spin. Again, this is an awesome, very, very tough piece to find. Now we'll move into modern alcohol items. The Darth Vader Dark Lord of the Flamenco Dance. This was a radio-controlled Darth Vader that was released in Europe. This one is mine, and it's actually like an Italian sticker on the bottom of it. So I'm not sure exactly all the countries in Europe it was released. But there's really only a couple buttons on it, and you press it. One of them says, the dark side. The others, really, all it does, it just spins and twirls its way into your heart. That is all it does. It just does a little dance along the floor or counter or whatever. He raises his arm up and like it. So it looks pretty much just like the Michael Dancer in the middle. Pretty close, even the way his cape is sculpted. Kites and gliders. The one on the left, I have no idea why they came up with this thing. Vader Parasite, I don't know, maybe, Vader got on vacation. You could recreate, maybe he went parasailing in Cancun or something on spring break, who knows, but obviously nothing in the movie relates to this whatsoever. And it's funny, you can't really tell, but in the little picture at the top, there's like a little explosion thing, and it says, includes free string. You gotta love that little add on there. And then the one on the right, honestly, when I saw this in the store, I bust out laughing. I could not stop. It is so ridiculous. Again, why pick on Vader? Why did they have somebody else? Vader's never happy, but look at him. He looks like he's ready to burst into song. He has a static face, but yet you can still almost see a smile on it. Like, I don't know, maybe Palpatine had one on a business trip, and this left, like, Vader in charge of everything. He's like, no, I'm free. He can fly all over if you have to. Who knows? Made his day anyway. That's a crazy, crazy super funny item. The foosball table made by Sportcraft in 2005. I believe this was only released in Walmart. I never saw it in any other store. Completely unique. The bad guys are super battle droids. The good guys are clone troopers, and I guess they battle for supremacy over the foosball table. It's not complete. It's kind of like a kid-sized one. It's not one of your really nice full-size ones. But if you had that thing set up in your collection, somebody's going to definitely take notice of it. Okay, these are one of the stupidest items I've seen. Usually Hasbro, they have a pretty good track record with releasing some cool stuff. This is, essentially, there's only three characters, but they're on motorcycles, like choppers or something. Whoever came up with this idea, maybe they watched the Chips Marathon or something. I don't know what it is. It is an absolutely horrible, horrible line. There's a couple of variations. Maybe one's facing one direction and maybe a couple different paint apps. In general, this line came and went really fast, and nobody bought these things. They were just a terrible idea. Okay, so what's in a name? Well, sometimes some of the unique items have just kind of a strange name. Now, I grew up in the 70s, and I remember in 1983, you would never say to your buddy, hey man, want to see my pocket bell? Never. It's a wall. You don't, or a billfold. Never sniff this pocket bell. Does not sound appropriate. The middle item is like a granola bar. It's these made by Uncle Toby's in New Zealand. One of the very, very few items that says Chewy on it. And it's got Chewy on there, in the turtle, hanging out, eating granola bars. That's a great item. If you can find that, then you got to get it just for that fact. And then the one on the far right, I saw this again, I can't either, but years and years and years ago. And I laughed so hard, maybe it's just my sense of humor, I don't know. To me, like a Wookiee doodle pad is something that you use to house train. It's not like something that you actually scribble on. You could think you'd see, like, Han walking into the car, go, Chewie! Oh, not on the floor. Use your doodle pad. See, I thought it's just a funny thing. I would have never named it that, but hey, somebody thought it was a good idea. It's not me. But here's another way. This is just like a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. I'll go through real quick. The golf ball, it obviously is unlicensed. It was just a Titleist one, and some joker thought maybe he could make a buck by just having some custom printed that said, episode one on there. I found it at a driving range just on accident. The middle one is Jar Jar Binks, like hand lotion pump. I don't think you really want anything coming out of Jar Jar's head down here. The far right top one is one of my favorite ads. This might have been the first piece of advertising that I really, when I started collecting advertising, I got this one. It's just really bizarre to see the Orville smiling face on this thing and seeing then our hero, our Star Wars heroes in the corner. And what it was is you could, like a coupon, and there was an entry form. You could, grand prize, you could win a trip to Star Tours to Disneyland. So this was like maybe late 80s or 90s. The bottom is a fishing pole set, and there are several variations of these. I don't remember any fishing ever happening in Star Wars, but maybe it was a deleted scene where, I don't know, they're on Naboo and they're drinking country time lemonade, and I don't know. But it's, maybe you could brag your buddies that I almost caught that OPC killer. I mean, the one got away. I don't know. They're goofy items. The future of Star Wars oddball collecting. Okay, I don't know if any of you collected the Bradford Exchange, like Galactic Village things. They're like these light up buildings. They're okay. They're kind of cool. This is their new thing. I don't know how they figured Star Wars and diesel locomotives go together. Maybe in some other distant EU type thing, there's Vader's run down the tracks in his train, but it's like maybe every few months you get a new piece, and it turn out lights, it glows in the dark. It's amazing. These things are super expensive. They're like, I don't know, 60 or 70 bucks just for like each thing. This is a terrible idea. I know I will never buy it. Never buy it. And now everything is waiting. What is the dumbest Star Wars I've ever? What is it? You know? Ooh, you guys are pretty. Now that was dirty. You can. I know what it looks like, but it's not that. I can't believe you guys. There it is. George Lucas's Light Adventure, Darth Vader flashlight thing from 1992. The George Lucas's Light Adventure. It was like a huge musical stage show extravaganza where it toured several cities in Japan. It was insanely expensive. They made a bunch of goofy items. But this one really just takes the cake. I think this is the stupidest thing that was probably ever made. But, I don't think showing a picture really does it justice. I think you guys deserve a little bit more than just a picture of how horrible this thing is. So if we could dim the lights maybe just for a second. Can we dim lights? Just for a moment? You won't want to miss this. It's majestic, I promise you. Ooh, here it comes, here it comes.
You authorize the Lord your defenses.
That's all this does. That's it. It's stupid. Thank you. All done.